Hello and welcome to another segment of Chief Chats. I'm Chief Chris Carr, here with special guest Sergeant Nick Martin. Welcome.
Thank you.
Sergeant Martin, can you tell us what it is you do for the department?
I'm a sergeant currently assigned to the Investigations Bureau. I oversee the detectives and all the investigative personnel.
Okay. And about how many people do you oversee directly?
About 10 to 15.
Okay. And that includes our SET team as well as general investigations?
For the most part, yes.
Okay. And then how about our specialty officers that we have on loan, our TFOs, if you will?
I do oversee a couple of them. They are based out of other departments, but I do reach out to them and supervise them as well.
Okay. And those units are dual sworn, so they have federal and state powers?
Correct.
What are the different types of cases that the detectives can be assigned in your division?
Detectives can be assigned any case, from your average mail theft to a homicide. It just depends on if the case needs further investigation or if the case needs to be finalized to be sent over to the district attorney's office, depending on what it needs.
Okay. And so you mentioned the district attorney's office. Do you find your detectives working closely with the district attorney's investigators and the DAs prior to a case?
I do. They are constantly in communication with the district attorney and the different attorneys. Sometimes they need guidance on where to go with the investigation, and sometimes they just want to make sure everything's looking good for prosecution.
Okay, very good. How many cases on average do your investigators carry?
I like to keep it between 8 and 12, but as long as it's under 10 most of the time, they're doing pretty good, and they can get to all their cases and touch on what they need to get to.
Okay. And what's the purpose of keeping it at 10 to 12?
In my experience, when they get real high caseloads, it's hard to keep track of everything and things get lost. So if we keep it lower, then they can make sure they touch on each case and give each case what it needs.
And what type of training do each of your detectives go through?
Most of the detectives are pretty experienced officers. They have been through thousands of hours of different training, but each year we try to send them to more training for specific areas, including like homicide, child abuse investigations, very specific aspects of the job that'll help them investigate things and keep up with today's techniques.
Okay. Are you finding needs for cryptocurrency and cyber crimes as well?
Of course, we have a lady in our office that specializes in that, and she's taken probably 50 to 60 hours of those types of classes to investigate those types of crimes.
If you could let the community know one thing about what goes on behind the scenes during investigations, what would that be?
I would think it would be to be patient when we're investigating their crimes. We have lots of crimes to investigate. Usually the citizen only sees their case, and we have thousands of cases to investigate. So I would say be patient. There's different methods that sometimes take longer to investigate crimes, and I want them to be assured that we're working on their case, but sometimes it takes time, so just be patient, and we're going to get to the bottom of it one way or another, and I just would hope that they'd be patient so we can give it its full attention and take it all the way to the district attorney's office with prosecution.
So when you're reaching out to your community members and a case comes across your desk, you've assigned it to a detective, do the detectives reach out to the reporting the victim?
Of course, we actually make it a requirement for them to reach out, touch base with the victim, see if there's any new information. I think it also helps give that victim a sense that somebody is working on their case and that they're being involved in the case.
And then are they provided any updates along the case? So if you're looking for other witnesses, tracking down the suspect, looking for pieces of evidence to clarify, maybe waiting for it to come back from the crime lab, something like that, do you update the victims so that they're aware of the progress and what's maybe delayed in the filing?
We try to update the victims on all cases, but sometimes there's sensitive information that we can't give to them. But most of the time we try to keep them updated and keep them engaged in the investigation.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining us on this segment of Chief Chats. If you'd like to learn more about a specific topic or submit questions for us to answer, please email chiefchats@cityofmenifee.us or send us a direct message on our Instagram or Facebook.